Hello everyone, welcome back chemistry class. This is Bhagyalaxmi, Department of Chemistry, Assistant Professor from Marri Reddy Institute of Technology and Management. Today, in this lecture, this video discuss about boiler troubles, internal treatments. So this session, we are going to discuss about what are the boiler troubles, how the boiler troubles will be formed, and what are the disadvantages, preventions of the boiler troubles. This boiler troubles, how we have to remove by the using of treatment methods, means internal treatments. So today lecture we are going to discuss about boiler troubles, internal treatments. So what is boiler troubles? Boilers are used for the steam generation, for making of thermal plant or any type of steam generation purpose we are using in industries. So several industries are used to the making of steam generation purpose using of these our boilers. So these boilers or in these boilers we are using the hard water. Hard water consists of hardness causing salts. Hardness causing salts, if it is present in the boilers, so whenever we are doing this heating process, continuously the heating will be takes place. The boiler water heating will be there, then continuation heating will be takes place, then concentration of the ions evaporation. So evaporated of this our concentration of the ions and converted into the steam. As a result, then the water becomes saturated due to the increase in the concentration of the dissolved impurities. It's like a calcium and magnesium impurities which are present in this our hard water. So this hard water we are using in our boilers. So whenever we are doing this our heating process, then this concentration of the ions will be increases progressively. Then these troubles will be takes place. So such type of troubles due to this presence of this our calcium and magnesium ions, like temporary hardness causing salts and permanent hardness causing salts, whatever it will be present in our hard water, it causes to the troubles or it faces to the troubles in this our boilers. So these boilers we have to discuss in this lecture. What are the boilers troubles? So here it is in this boiler troubles, or there are this different types will be there. One is sludges and scales, caustic embrittlement, priming and foaming, boiler corrosion. These are all are the different types of the boiler troubles. In this session, this lecture, we are going to discuss about sludges, scales, caustic embrittlement. In this chemistry lecture, engineering chemistry module 1, we have the syllabus, scales and sludges and caustic embrittlement. So we are going to discuss about sludges and scales. So what is meant by sludge and scale, and what are the disadvantages, and how we have to remove all of these sludges and scales from this our boiler of water. Then what is the sludge? This is our boiler trouble. So when the water is used in this hard water is used in this our boilers, we have to using of this our heating process. Continuously the heating will be takes place. So when the water continuously heated, then this ions concentration will be increases. Whenever this ions concentration increases, that reaches to the at the saturated point, then the precipitation takes place. If the precipitation is soft, loose and slimy precipitation, is called as sludge. So here it is in this our boiler, and this is our boiler of water. We are doing this heating process. Okay, these ions in this water, its presence of the calcium or magnesium ions. So presence of this our calcium and magnesium ions, it causes to this our white color or any type of the precipitation takes place in this our boiler. This is the boiler feed water. So in this, the precipitation, if it is a slimy or loose precipitation takes place in this our boiler of water is called as a sludge. This is we are called as sludge. Then this sludge can be formed due to this presence of the temporary and permanent hardness causing salts. It's like magnesium carbonate, magnesium chloride, calcium chloride, magnesium sulfate and calcium magnesium hardness causing salts. When the water it is used to the heating process which have the greater solubility into this our hard water than this our cold water. So this is about the sludge formation. Then and also this reasons for the sludge formation and how we have to removal of this sludge in this our boiler feed water. Prevention methods for this boiler feed water with using of the soft water. With using of soft water and by the blow down operation method, we have to remove our sludges. And what are the disadvantages of the sludge formation in this our boiler of water? Sludges are the poor conductors. So these are the poor conductors to the heat. So they tend to this wastage portion of the heat can be generated by this our heating process. Then these whenever we are using of this our heating process, it ultimately the disturbing of the working of the boiler conditions for the steam generation of this our water. Then it will be formation of this along with the sludges, along with the formation of the scales are also. So scales are very dangerous. These are not easy to removal by this using of this our any wire brushes. So we have to utilize the chemical agent. So here it is in this due to the presence of the calcium magnesium ions only causes to the types of the sludges and scales of the boiler troubles in our boiler of water only. So preventions by using of soft water by the blow down operation method, we have to remove or prevention of this our sludges in the boiler of water. Then go to the scales. What is mean by scale? What is mean by scale? When this precipitation takes place in this our boiler of water, whenever we are doing of this our heating process, when it is presence of the calcium and magnesium ions, that ions can be increases concentration, then the precipitation takes place to get this our trouble is called as the scale. So this precipitation, if it is hard, sticky, tightly adherent on the inner walls of the boilers is called as sludge, is called as scale. So for example, this is our boiler and this is our boiler of water and we are using of this our heating process and this tightly stickly attachment, adherent means attachment. So tightly attachment to this our inner walls of the boiler. So this is our boiler. Okay, this is our boiler, this is our hard, sticky, tightly attachment of the our boiler of water of the precipitation. So this is we are called as a scale. If it is a loose, slimy precipitation will be takes place, that is we are called as sludge. But here it is in the scale. Scale means tightly attachment, inner walls of the boiler. So we cannot easy to remove. Why? Because it's a permanent hardness causing salts maximum can be present in this our hard water. So due to this salts only we are getting of this our scales only. So hard, sticky, tightly attachment on the inner walls of the boilers is called as scale. So here it is in this scales are very difficult to remove, even if it is in the with the using of the wire brushes or any hammer or any chisel are also not easy to removal of this formation of the scales. So what are the reasons for this our formation of the scales? So reasons for this, first one is the presence of the calcium bicarbonate in the low pressure boilers. So calcium bicarbonate, CaHCO3 taken twice, calcium bicarbonate, this is one of the temporary hardness causing salt. So this calcium bicarbonate, when it is present in this our low pressure boilers, so whenever we are using of this our heating process, okay, heating process, Then this calcium bicarbonate is decomposed to form this calcium carbonate, CaCO3, and CO2 evaporate, carbon dioxide it will be evaporate, and H2O. So this CaCO3 calcium carbonate is called as a scale. So whenever this decomposition of the calcium bicarbonate by the heating process, it produces a calcium carbonate. This is we are called as scale. So this is also one reasons for the formation of the scales only. Then second one, presence of the calcium sulfate. It is a permanent hardness causing salt. So this calcium sulfate, when it is present in the high pressure boilers to produce the scales in this boiler of water, and here it is in the temperature conditions in the boiler pressure water, 15 degrees to 30 degrees to 320 degrees cold water, and heated water, superheated water. Whenever we are doing of this our heating process with using of the temperature conditions, then solubility of the calcium sulfate, if it is the 15 degrees 3200 ppm parts per million of the solubility will be there, and 230 degrees 15 ppm, 320 degrees 27 ppm cold water soluble of the calcium sulfate in the high pressure boilers, and superheated water, these are the insoluble, it is nothing but scale. So insoluble of this, our formation of the precipitation, tightly attachment on the inner walls of the boilers is called as the scale. So this is also the one type of the boiler trouble. And third reason for this our formation of the scale, magnesium chloride, due to the presence of the magnesium chloride. This is also the permanent hardness causing salt. So due to this presence of this our magnesium chloride at the or in this high temperature boilers, then this magnesium chloride is reacted with this our water. Okay, magnesium chloride is reacted with this our water to produce a magnesium hydroxide, MgOH taken twice. This is we are called as scale. So magnesium hydroxide. Then hydrogen chloride, HCl, it is an acid. So this is magnesium hydroxide, MgOH taken twice. This is we are called as scale. This is also one of the reasons for the formation of the scale. Then magnesium hydroxide can also be generated by the thermally decomposition of the magnesium bicarbonate. So this magnesium bicarbonate, it is a temporary hardness causing salt. So when it is a temporary hardness causing salt, magnesium bicarbonate thermally too can be generated of this our magnesium hydroxide scale. This is also one of the reasons for this our formation of the scales in the boiler feed water. And last one, reasons for the formation of the scale, presence of the silica. So this is silica. This is also nothing but SiO2, silicon dioxide. It is also we are called as silicon dioxide, silica. So due to this presence of the silica or silicon dioxide, so it is a insoluble hard precipitation. It is a tightly attachment or adherent of this calcium silicate oxide. So calcium silicate oxide, this is a scale formation when due to this presence of this our silica into this water. And also this magnesium silicates are also present. This is also we are called as a scales. So calcium silicate, magnesium silicates are produced. How these calcium and magnesium silicates are produced? Due to this presence of the silica in this our hard water. So these are all are the reasons for this formation of the scales. So first one is the calcium bicarbonate, and the second one is the calcium sulfate, and third one magnesium chloride, and fourth one magnesium hydroxide, and also this our silicon dioxide. So these are all are these reasons for this our formation of the or occurring of this our troubles. One of the trouble is the scale. So scale trouble can be formed due to this reasons. Okay, then what are the disadvantages of this our scale formation? So whenever this scale can be formed by this our steam generation process, okay, in the industries, so what type of the disadvantages will be takes place in this boiler of water? So first one, due to this formation of the scales, wastage of the fuel. So wastage heat can be generated, means we have to utilize it in the more and more heating. So whenever we are using of this more and more times heating process, so fuel can be used. So lot of fuel can be used. So fuel is wastage. And these scales have the low thermal conductivity in nature. And degradation of the boiler material and increases of the risk of the accidents. Means degradation of the boiler material means damage of the boiler material. So why? Because we are using more and more times in the heating process, then scales can be formed in the boiler of water. Then this boiler can be presence of this our scales. When it is a formation of the scales in this our boiler of the water, then fuel can be wastage. So more and more times we have to utilize the thermal explosion will be takes place. Okay, so as a result, boiler material can be, it is also damaged. So safety of the boiler can be, it is also damaged. This is also one type of disadvantages when it is presence in the scale formation in the boiler of water. Then reduces of the efficiency of the boiler. And also the boiler feed water, it deposited on the walls and also the condensers. And whenever we are using of these boilers with the condensers, so condenser capacity or also efficiency, it is also decreases. That time will be, it is also more. So efficiency will be, it is also decreases due to these scales. And boiler may explode. Thermal explosion will be takes place if it is this scales can be formed or any cracks, it is also presence in this scale formation in this our boiler of water only. So this is also that disadvantages of the scale formation in the boiler of water. Then what are the removal methods? How we have to prevention of this our scale formation in this our boiler of water? So using of the wire brushes. Actually, it is very easy to removal of the sludges with the using of this our wire brushes, but not the scales. Just a small quantity of the scales can be eliminated or removed with the help of this our wire brushes. Okay, by using of thermal shocks. So thermal shocks, whenever the heating and cooling, suddenly with using of this our cold water by the thermal shocks only, we have to eliminate or prevention of this our scale formation in this our boiler feed water. Then using of the chemicals. What type of the chemicals we need to use in this our scales formation in this prevention method? 5 to 10% of the HCl and adding of the EDTA. What is the EDTA? EDTA, it is a complexing agent. It is a complexing agent, ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. So with the help of this our ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid like EDTA, then we have to elimination or prevention of the formation of the scales in the boiler feed water. Next, one more boiler trouble, that is caustic embrittlement. Then go to discuss about caustic embrittlement. So what is the caustic embrittlement? This is also one type of boiler trouble. This is also called as boiler corrosion. It is also one type of boiler corrosion. So what is the corrosion? Corrosion means the decay of the metal by the attack of environmental gases. So due to this presence of this our water, its presence of the some of the gases, so our boiler material, whenever we are using of this heating process, boiler material can be spoiled. So this is we are called as boiler corrosion. So by this caustic embrittlement or also our boiler material can be damaged or spoiled. So hence it is also known as caustic embrittlement. It is also one type of caustic embrittlement. So what is caustic embrittlement? Caustic embrittlement means, caustic means soda. Okay, soda. Soda means NaOH. Caustic means soda, NaOH. Embrittlement means it is a brittleness. Brittleness means it's a cracks. So brittleness means cracks or breakage or any pit, or pit means hole. So crackage, breakage, pits or holes will be formed in the boiler material due to this caustic is called as a caustic embrittlement. The formation of the brittleness, the formation of the breaks, the formation of the cracks in the boiler material due to this caustic or sodium hydroxide is called as caustic embrittlement. So in this type of boiler corrosion, majorly the formed by the or reasons caused by the highly alkaline water in the boiler of water. So highly hardness causing salts which are present in this water, then getting of this our caustic embrittlement in this boiler feed water. So actually this formation of the caustic embrittlement in this our boiler feed water by using of softening of water method. So softening of water method, it is a one type of external treatment method, means softening of water method. Make it in the hard water is make it into the soft water is called as softening of water method, or also nothing but external treatment methods. So by this softening of water method, one of the very important method is the lime soda process. So we are using this lime soda process. In this lime soda method, soda, we are using a soda Na2CO3. So this soda present in this our softening of water method, this soda Na2CO3, it is decomposes to give the sodium hydroxide and also this carbon dioxide. So this, which is the boiler, boiler of water, it will be becomes a caustic. Sodium hydroxide, it is nothing but a caustic. It is a caustic. So the sodium carbonate Na2CO3, this is we are called as a soda. So in the external treatment lime soda process, we are using of this soda. This soda can be interacted with this our hard water of the H2O molecules to produce the sodium hydroxide. So due to which the boiler water becomes caustic. Then presence of the caustic to break or brittleness of the boiler material is called as caustic embrittlement. So this is a very dilute caustic water flows into the minute hair cracks in the boiler by this our capillary action. On this evaporation of the water dissolved caustic soda, it will be increases of the concentration of the hair cracks. And this concentrated base or alkali or sodium hydroxide dissolves in this our iron material of this our boiler to produce as the sodium ferroate, which causes to this our boiler parts such as bends, joints, rivers, due to this which the boiler get failed. So here this our boiler material, it is made up of iron only. So due to this our NaOH, then it produces the sodium ferrate. So due to this ferrate only, brittleness of this our boiler material. So this is about formation of the caustic embrittlement in the boiler feed water. This is also one type of boiler trouble. Boiler troubles are sludges, scales, caustic embrittlement. Then what are the disadvantages? You know that boiler material can be breakaged or boiler material can be spoiled or damaged due to this presence of this our caustic embrittlement. Then what are the prevention methods or removal methods of this our caustic embrittlement? By using of the sodium phosphate. By using of sodium phosphate as a softening of reagent, this is a softening of reagent by this our external treatment method. In this case, we are using of the sodium phosphate, then only we have to eliminate it of this our formation of the caustic embrittlement. Then by maintaining the pH value and also the neutralization of the base. neutralization of this our base also we have to maintain, and also by adding of the tannins or lignins like gel type of the components, or also we should add the sodium sulfate. These are to block the hair cracks by this preventing of this our boiler material due to this our caustic soda solution. So these are all are the prevention methods for this our formation of the boiler trouble caustic embrittlement. So these are all are the examples of the boiler troubles: sludges, scales, caustic embrittlement. The next, this session again we are going to discuss about this video internal treatments. So what are the internal treatments? Actually, the treatments are classified into the two types. One is internal treatments and the second one external treatments. So internal treatments means using of this internal treatments removal of scale formation in the boiler of water. External treatments means removal of all ions from this water only by using of different treatment methods. So internal treatments. Internal treatments. These internal treatments are removal of scales prevented by the scales formation. So what are the internal treatments will be there? So internal treatments are phosphate conditioning, carbonate conditioning, calgon conditioning, colloidal conditioning by using a sodium aluminate like alum, and by the electrical conditioning process, by radioactive conditioning process, by complexometric using of EDTA method. So these are all are the methods for the removal of scale formation. These are all are we are called as internal treatment methods. These are nothing but internal treatment methods. So by using of these internal treatments, we have to elimination of the scale formation in the boiler feed water. So in this lecture, this video, we are going to discuss about what are the phosphate conditioning process and calgon conditioning process, colloidal conditioning process. So these all the three conditioning methods or internal treatments can be utilized to the removal of or prevention of the scale formation in this our boiler feed water. Next, phosphate conditioning. So what is the phosphate conditioning? So scales, how the scales formation, the water can be used in the boiler water. When the water is heated continuously, the ions concentration will be increases progressively, then reaches the saturated point, then the precipitation will be takes place. That if it is the precipitation is hard, sticky, tightly attachment on the inner walls of the boilers is called as scale. So this scale can be, we have to eliminate it with the help of this our phosphate conditioning process. So in this phosphate conditioning process, by adding of the sodium phosphate to the boiler of water, this phosphate, the sodium phosphate can be reacted with this our boiler water. Okay, reacted with this our boiler water. Then here by adding sodium phosphate to the boiler water, which is reacted with this our boiler water, hardness can be produced. This hardness produced ions can be removed by this our exchanges of this our calcium phosphates. So here you have to see this our calcium chloride. It is our boiler water. It is one type of hardness causing salt. So this calcium chloride can be, we have to eliminate with the help of or addition of the sodium phosphate. This is Na3PO4. This is we are called as sodium phosphate. So in this phosphate conditioning process, what is our reagent? Sodium phosphate. It produces the calcium phosphate and also the sodium chloride. Then the elimination of these our scales. Then in this phosphate conditioning process, there are the different type of phosphates can be used, and also cannot be pH value, it is also 9.5. So the selection of the phosphates has to be based on the pH of the boiler feed water. So we are using different types of the phosphates with the sodium. So sodium phosphates. Sodium NaHP2PO4 acidic. This is acidic in nature. And disodium hydrogen phosphate. Here sodium dihydrogen phosphate. Here disodium hydrogen phosphate. This is a weakly alkaline in nature. And trisodium phosphate, alkaline in nature. These are the different types of the phosphates are used in this phosphate conditioning process based on the pH values. Okay, pH values. And also by the carbonate conditioning process also we have to elimination of the scales formation in the boiler feed water. Calgon conditioning. This is one kind of internal treatment method. So in this calgon conditioning reagent, we are using the reagent is the calgon. So what is mean by calgon? Calgon means sodium hexametaphosphate. So this is the calgon. Sodium hexa means 6. Sodium phosphate. This process it is involves the addition of the calgon to this our boiler of water, then removal of scale formation in the boiler of water is called as calgon conditioning. This majorly calgon conditioning process used in the cleaning of washing machines drums. Okay. So here it is in this by addition of the calgon sodium hexametaphosphate, this sodium hexametaphosphate it is a Na2Na4PO3 taken 6. So this PO3 taken 6 can be reacted to form this Na4P6O18 minus 2. Okay, minus 2 to produce the Na plus Na4P6O18 minus 2. So this Na4P6O18 it's decomposed as this Na4P6O18 minus 2 can be interacted with this our boiler of water, that is the calcium sulfate. Not only the calcium sulfate, if it is a calcium chloride or a magnesium chloride or a magnesium sulfate, if it is present in this water, this is interacted with this our boiler of hardness causing salt to produce the calcium phosphates. This is a soluble complex ion of calcium. This can be easy to remove. So it produces as the calcium phosphates and also the sodium sulfates. So this is the one of the method for the internal treatment. This is we are using to the elimination of the scales formation in the boiler of water, calgon conditioning process. Last one, colloidal conditioning. So colloidal conditioning means colloids. It's like a tannin, lignin, agar-agar. So Zell type of the precipitations we are using in this colloidal conditioning process. Removal of scales formation. Conditioning means removal of impurities from this water. So with the help of colloids. So these colloids like organic substances like kerosene, agar-agar, tannins. So these are used in the low pressure boilers. So these are can be interacted where the hair cracks or blocks will be there. That can be deposited on that walls of the boiler material. Then formation of the scales can be eliminated or avoided. Okay, then these are non-sticky and loose deposits. So by this our colloidal conditioning process, we have to elimination of the scale formation in the boiler of water. So internal treatments: phosphate conditioning, calgon conditioning, colloidal conditioning, and using of the treatment with alum, sodium alum. So this is also interacted with this water to produce the soda. So produce the sodium hydroxide and aluminum hydroxide, and also that this sodium hydroxide involve this sodium magnesium chloride to produce the magnesium hydroxide. We can avoid this process with the help of this our soda or alum into this our internal treatment process. These are my references for this our boiler troubles and also the internal treatments. All these type of the reference used in this PPT presentation. Thank you all of you. Thank you everyone.